I'm Sean Olsberg with Hometown Hero Outdoors. We're at the Harris Ranch in Uvalde, Texas. Let's go meet our members and get in the blinds and harvest some whitetail.
I spent the last 10 years of my career in Air Force Special Warfare. Going downrange, constant deployments, constant training, disconnecting from society to go do whatever the mission was at the time. The constant back and forth of going downrange and doing missions puts you in a fight or flight state most of the time, and it's really hard for people to come out of when they come home. That's why you run into a lot of people that have PTSD and things like that with veterans. They can't withdraw from being in fight or flight within themselves for so long, so they're jumpy and they react to everything, and they're high tempers and that type of thing. And that's kind of where I found myself in the last few years, especially coming up on retirement, where you know your career is going to end. You're going to have to deal with those things without having a next mission in mind. So when you get that downtime is when all those things creep back, because there's no next mission, there's no next thing to train for. So you're going to have to deal with whatever you've been not dealing with for so long. The disconnection allows you to actually work on those things. Being, out in the outdoors, the disconnect from normal everyday hustle and bustle of life allows you to start healing and working on those things within yourself that you don't normally work on, if you're being completely honest with yourself.
I was thinking, I've never been, I haven't been. I don't think I've ever. Sitting in the blind with these guys, taking the time to hear their story or to hear their life or just the things, the memories that they didn't want. They were trying to get new memories. They were trying to reach out to do new things. Some of them were hunters, some of them were not. But it compelled me to do more. So this season, we put together several groups, and I think we've taken 45 plus guys out in the field this year hunting. All deer hunting, all staying here on the ranch, being able to spend a few nights sitting by the fire, telling their stories. You can say what you want, but it doesn't matter who you are. It puts some different emotion in your heart.
The VA says 22 veterans a day commit suicide. It's like 8,300 veterans a year. I personally have been involved in, more than I can count on both hands with veterans either saying they're going to commit suicide. I have friends that have committed suicide. Because of the stressors of the trauma that they've been through with the military, hands down. There's not another thing that caused that in their life, whether it's people that have called me and said, hey, I'm about to make a really bad decision and I have to talk them off a ledge, or people that that's on their agenda and you need to work with them so that it stays off of their agenda. The nonprofit space, HHO, Harris Ranch, that is how you combat. That's your tool to fight that. There's no other way that you're going to be able to fight the mental health, pandemic or whatever you want to call it. It's essential to the mental health aspect. And the trickle effect, one, you're taking the people that currently are involved with it, but once that travels back, because you're talking active duty, you're talking veterans, you're talking first responders, word travels fast. I got involved with HHO. I was a veteran. I do have PTSD. I have all those things in my past, right, from what I've done in the military. But I come out here, I see it. I see them helping veterans. I want to be involved. I go back. I tell my buddies, and I say, hey, this is something that it's legit. Like, you need to be out here. You need to be involved in this, and it's going to help you too. And those guys are here right now. Those guys just shot, the first buck that they've shot in 5 years. And they're going to go home with new memories, food for their families, stories to tell. We're out here shooting rattlesnakes and doing dangerous stuff and just living the good life. Most of us will draw back. It's in our tendency to draw back on the remember the time downrange this, remember the time downrange that. You want to create, remember the time at Harris Ranch this, remember the time at Harris Ranch that. That's going to replace those old memories. And eventually those memories, they might never fade away, but You're going to draw on those a lot less if you have some good ones in front of it.
We had a couple of gentlemen here that were in a dark place. I really realized the gravity of what this organization, the Hometown Heroes, and what we can accomplish together. I've given this a lot of thought. When you are a law enforcement officer, a firefighter, a member of any of the armed services, your identity pretty fast becomes a part of you. You know, the organization you're involved in becomes a part of your identity. And the longer you do it, the more it becomes a part of your identity. And when you have individuals that fight for our country, bleed for their local departments, and lose teammates and military people and partners, it really makes you kind of close ranks. And you find your comfort and solace in those that have the same mindset as you. So when your journey is over, whether that's a career or a short stint, doesn't matter. But the longer you do it, the longer that becomes who you are. And unfortunately, those that make it a career or make it through their enlistment, the day after your last day, all that's stripped away from you. And some men and women have the ability to just move forward and figure it out pretty quick in the civilian sector. But then there's a small percentage that can't figure it out. Even some that do figure it out, they compartmentalize all of that baggage that they had from their tours, their careers. I had a gentleman this week that really drove this home for me. He's a very successful man now, a Marine combat veteran, 2 tours. And he looked at me with tears in his eyes and he said, you know, I have the ability to hunt and do things outside of this organization, and I do that. He said, but it's different here. It's different with the Hometown Hero organization. And he said, even though I've been here only 24 hours, he said, I really feel like I've had a mental reset. And he said, you know, it's something about the love that I feel, the camaraderie, the graciousness of the hosts, John Sewell and Michael Harris. It really opened up my eyes that, wow, this is way bigger than just getting vets and first responders to the outdoors. It gives them a little piece of what they've been missing. And it's very humbling to me.
I think it's a place that the military and the police personnel should come to, because everybody that comes to that I have met have been excellent people, and everybody has become friends, and it's a great place to come to.
I'm super grateful for being here during this time. It's definitely something that I didn't know that I needed. Being in the blind with Sean was awesome. He talked me through everything. I've shot guns before, but he told me, you know, make sure you relax, breathe, you know, take your time. And thinking about it now, it's actually a lot of what needs to be happening outside of the blind. Like in my own personal life, I need to relax, take a breath, and then execute whatever I need to execute.
The outdoors was just somewhere me and my 2 brothers always went to and always could connect, and it's where I go to clear my head, and since I was little. I really do appreciate, you know, everything that the Harris Ranch has done, because my little brother actually killed himself at the hunting spot that I always hunted at. You know, the Harris Ranch has provided me a new spot to find that comfort, that, you know, that peace, that place where I can still go out and connect with him, and at least, I don't know, I feel like I have some type of connection where I can just come out here and know he's not here, but I feel him, you know?
I don't think anybody knows yet the effects of what this ranch is going to do. It's only been, you know, operating kind of in link with HHO for a very short period of time. And you already have 50 people that have already come out here, been successful, done the hunt. You know, like you talk about 5-10 years from now, I mean, you're talking hundreds of thousands of people that you've affected by doing this itself. So families, you know, and they want to be involved with the families, and you leave here with connections, and there's hey man, you leave here, you always have a home. If you need to come out here and disconnect, you have a place you can go. Don't ever think you don't have anywhere to go. You don't get that anywhere else. You're not gonna get that at a hotel, going on a cruise. They're not gonna say, hey, come back, man. And when they say that, they mean it. Like, they absolutely mean it. Like, come out here, stay here, we'll feed you, hot meals, we'll talk, we'll do whatever we gotta do. You can put you to work on the ranch, do hard labor, and it's just, when you leave here, you feel like you're part of a family, like you really are.
For those that watch this video that have the means, the monetary means, we're not here with our hands out. We're donors as well, but we need help because this is a business and we have bills to pay. So I just ask that if you can, please donate. If we save one vet, one Leo a year, what's that worth?